When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos and updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. If you want to get access to any of my early content, check out the Discord. This is the Age of the Seed, Part 0. First contact. Give you guys a little bit of information before we move forward. This transpires sometime in the future. At least when it comes to the timeline. I've made a couple of Seed fan fictions, like my Superior Seed, and I think I've made another one, but I'm not really sure. It's been so long. I've dabbled with this idea of my own version of superpowers, but this one's gonna be more based into magic a little bit, so we'll get to that point in the story at some point. But right now, let's just get right into this. Planet Earth is currently in the golden age of peace. War has become a thing of the past. The world has finally moved past such barbaric methods. Humanity as a whole has finally came together, united as one species. Because there's no longer fighting. Because they're no longer fighting each other. Humanity can progress in technology. The level of the technology that was developed skyrocketed in advancements. Not only technology, but even the field of medicine, space travel. Everything begins to advance in a steady pace. Humanity hasn't seen this type of advancements since the creation of the computer chip. As humanity as a whole is celebrating Harmony Day, parades, festivals are in progress worldwide. In the midst of the festival, several silver portals open up in the heart of the capital of Earth, as several humanoid figures with pointed ears, all wearing advanced armor and carrying advanced energy weapons, came out of the magic circle, or the magic portal, basically what it is, as dozens of elves came walking out of the portal, as one of the elf commanders was the last one to step out before the portal closes behind her. You know what to do. This planet is ours. Take the humans. As all of her soldiers march forward, opening fire as a firefight erupted between the elves and the Earth Defense Force. Was constructed with all members of all countries united in one force. Commander Rain charged forward, jumping and flipping over several humans while in midair, shooting her energy magic gun at several humans, killing them. As Rain landed on her feet and swung her sword that's infused with magic, killing dozens of humans that tried to resist. Rain easily dodged an incoming attack by one of the humans that was much more bigger than the rest. She easily kicked the man in the chest, sending the defense force member into a wall, breaking the hard surface of the wall as spiderweb cracks begin to form right behind the man that slammed into the building. Despite the Earth Defense Force best efforts in repelling the attack, their numbers are dropping too fast than they can replace. They're being pushed back far too much and far too fast. Their firepower is just inefficient. No matter how the Earth Defense Force press their attack, they're being overwhelmed by their opponent's superior weaponry and ability to conjure the freaking elements in the palm of their hands. As a wave of fire and lightning rain down upon the Earth Defense Force, the Earth Defense Force had no choice and to release their energy tanks that's beginning to roll down the street. It immediately opened fire as the tanks charge up some sort of energy beam and shot out of the tank cannon directly towards the invaders, only for a small group of the elves to cast several magical barriers, negating the energy beam from the tank. When the heavy assault from the tanks were being stopped, as they eventually stopped firing, that's when the elves pressed their attack, as several lightning bolts begin to rain down upon the platoon of tanks. One tank after another begins to explode, turning the street, or this part of the street, into a battleground. Their weak press the attack, kill them all. Do not hesitate. The battle continued despite Earth Defense Force best efforts. Onslaught, undefeatable force, soon became a whimper. It was just too much. They were completely wiped out, at least the ones on the surface level, as the elves began to spread wide into the capital of planet Earth. Skirmishes would start across the entire city. Civilians are being evacuated. The city is beginning to quarantine itself by unleashing a large energy barrier surrounding the entire city, preventing the invaders from spreading any further on Earth. Not knowing if this is happening worldwide or this is just an isolated incident. They are completely cut off. Communications were cut off from the rest of the world by an unknown interference. The moment the invaders invaded, they were cut off from the rest of the world, dead in the water. No communication can be made from outside or in the city. The city is currently engulfed in this energy dome. The Earth Defense Force don't have a whole lot of options But one thing that's going in the humans' favor, whoever these people are, these invaders, chose to invade the capital of Earth. Not only do they have plenty of numbers for a long drawn off battle, but they got plenty of weaponry to use against the invaders. Humanity weapons might not be as advanced as the elves, but they're still effective. Only reason they were suppressed on the surface is because the attack was unexpected, so they couldn't get all their numbers into the battle. They were able to kill a couple of the invaders in one of the skirmishes, so they made sure to pass out the more advanced weaponry to fight against the invaders. Deep down underground, underneath the capital of Earth, there is a large military base, as you see all different races of humanity from different parts of the world working together, going about their business in a fast pace, passing on orders, getting updates on the situation in the skirmishes. Inside the heart of the base of the Earth Defense Force, there is a woman in the middle of the command center, General Bella, relaying her orders. Send more reinforcements in this section of the city. Then once they deal with that, have them help the others that are currently in battle. Understood? Good. Get to work. Bella took a step back and reanalyzing everything that's been happening today. How everything went to shit so fast. She won't tolerate this. She won't have the city be claimed by some unknown faction under her watch. She's had a perfect career, no bad marks. Proper behavior, socializing, or in operations. And she'll be damned to have a bad mark on her career by some unknown invaders that resembles elves. From a fantasy story that Earth has made throughout the many generations. A thing of fiction. If this is some sort of invasion, why do they send one force? Sorry about that, my cat knocked something over. Let's try this again. If this is some sort of invasion, why did they just send such a small force? They should have known. The soldiers they had wouldn't be enough for a full invasion. Wait, I get it now, clever little bastards. This is not a true invasion. They're just testing the waters. Devious little fuckers. As she had her finger under her chin in a thinking posture. I also got to put in account that I'm unsure if this is just happening in the city or if this is happening worldwide. Fine, you want to play games? I'll play your games. As Bella gave out her following orders. Get the team together. Ma'am, what team? Our kill squad, of course. Don't give me that look. We need to stop holding back. We need to send our best out in the fight. These intruders are mopping the floor with my men. That's under my command. This battle most likely going to be one of many. I have no doubt about that. You have your orders. Move out. The imitated soldier ran out of the room to do what he was told. and to get in touch with the Kill Squad and move out. The Kill Squad is a all-female unit. The reason why Bella had a all-female Kill Squad formed in the first place, because they're far more limber to get through tight spaces when infiltrating or assassinating. Earth might be in harmony, but that doesn't mean they can't stop preparing for a threat that doesn't come from this planet. In general, Bella was a firm believer that there has to be threats outside of Earth that they need to prepare for. Bella took no satisfaction knowing that she was right. There's no arrogance in her. She warned them. It was their choice if they chose to believe her or not. Luckily, half of the Earth Council took her warning to heart and granted her a list of things to prepare for a future invasion. A limited number of staff, but enough to get the ball rolling. From the reports she has seen so far, she knows the invading force. They're far more intelligent, judging by their advanced weaponry. Not only that, they seem to be able to cast the elements like they're wielding magic itself. Bella frowned at the mere thought of magic, regardless if they have magic or not. It's still a devastating ability they have displayed. That's not what troubles me. As Bella goes through several reports of the invading force displaying superior speed, strength, and reflexes, easily outclassing her soldiers. And that's something she can't tolerate. This is her base. This is her people. She won't have her men and women that's under her command to be slaughtered like some barn animal. Bella immediately issued following orders to have scouts venture into the city to get intel on the movements of their enemy and to see if they could detect key leader figures that they could target. After all, if you usually cut off the head of the beast, the rest of the body will die in time. It's a very brutal method of war. But if they manage to take out their leader, they'll fall apart. Even if she has to do it herself. Humanity might be in harmony with itself, but that doesn't mean that humanity, capabilities of great violence, has diminished in the slightest. In simple terms, it's just a sleeping beast waiting to be ready to be unleashed. Humanity has suppressed such thoughts, process, and methods, but Bella has no problem using such uncivilized methods when it comes to war. War has no rules. The victor gets the spoils. Only the victor will be written in the history books kindly. Somewhere in the capital, you could see a group of invaders have formed some sort of temporary base in one of the large buildings in a good location. It's a perfect position for them to give out orders that's close to the battle. It has many military benefits to the elves. Commander Rain was in the middle of the building watching her fellow elves set up all of the temporary equipment in the large room. It only took them 15 minutes to get everything set up. As everything started to turn on, they have everything they need to continue their campaign. What's the situation? Lady Rain, they're mostly withdrawn, but there's still pockets of resistance scattered all around this human city. Biding their time, I have no doubt. They're planning something. No matter, they will be crushed regardless. If we manage to capture this city, and the city seems to be their capital, and if we manage to keep it under our control, we can send the rest of our warriors out to conquer more. But I highly doubt we'll be here that long for that to happen. But once we return, we'll have a more better strategy and more better numbers. This planet Earth and humanity shouldn't be too difficult to conquer. We've done this many times to more advanced races than this one. They'll be no different. Remember the protocols. Leave no survivors. Understood. It will be done. See that it does. Gotta admit, whoever's in command of whatever this Earth Defense Force is, they're not incompetent. I wonder what type of human this person is. I wonder what this human would do next. It'd just be easier just to send our heavy weaponry in, portaling those devastating weaponry would be a simple task. We have several in reserve, just in waiting for a portal to open up. But there's no need for that. These humans, they're not worthy enough to be killed by such marvelous, advanced technology infused with magic. But I gotta admit, I was surprised by the energy shield surrounding the city, trapping us inside. Very effective move, keeping any reinforcements from joining the battle, if we had any, but that won't stop us. We could easily portal in inside this nifty little dome of theirs. They're using magic. Their energy capabilities can't compare to our magic. But it's still impressive. They managed to make an energy dome of this caliber. But it's completely pointless. Like I said, we could easily open portals inside the city itself with no trouble. I've wasted enough time here. I've stayed idle for far too long. You three, you're coming with me. We're going hunting. The moment they stepped outside, they jumped up and landed on the light road. It's a road made out of solid energy that acts like a secondary road that spread across the entire city. Just for convenience, another road for cars to drive onto. The cars on Earth are a lot more energy based, but regardless, the cars have a small device underneath the vehicle that locks the car onto the light road, allowing civilians to drive their cars on the energy road. The elves instantly begin to run on top of the light road, using magic on their feet to attach to the solid energy surface that's being used as a road. As the invaders began to run, Rain took the lead. As she's fast approaching a small number of Earth Defense Force, EDF for short. The EDF were unaware they were being hunted, as they were trying to maneuver around different streets using the light street as cover from above. But the elves easily noticed them. Rain positioned her people to key points surrounding the small group of EDF. The EDF soldiers were oblivious to their presence as the invaders began to surround them. With one motion of Rain's hand, they all attacked all at once, as the elves began to leap downwards, landing on the ground, and burst forward using almost superhuman speed to cut the distance in an instant. The elf commander, Rain, was the first one to make first contact to the EDF soldier of the Earth Defense Force. Rain swung her sword down, chopping off the head of the soldier. Another EDF soldier came running in. As Rain swung her sword again, chopping off the hand that was holding the rifle. As Rain went into a spin slash, chopping off his head. As the severed head flew off the body, as the body fell alongside the head, began to roll around the ground, Rain rushed forward, killing another human. Commander Rain was precise, calculated, brutal, borderline vicious. But she was effective. As she cut down human after human, even after the EDF got reinforcements, that didn't halt Rain in the slightest. It had the opposite effect. She was eager to kill some more humans. She's enjoying the battle. Commander Rain doesn't have much opinion on humanity, one way or another. She just likes killing. When Rain was about to kill another member of the EDF, her blade was immediately stopped with a long red katana. As Rain looked at her new opponent, Victoria managed to stop the blade just in time. If she was a little bit slower, that man would have been cut in half. He would have died instantly. Victoria is one of the members of the Death Squad that was created and scouted by Bella. Sorry about that if you could hear that. My cat was going crazy in that box, so I had to put her in the room for a minute. Alright, let's continue. Victoria is wearing a black and red battle armor, a mixture between battle armor and clothes, wearing a helmet that had no visible features on the face. On the top of the helmet, it almost looked like fox ears. Or cats. No one's certain. Only detail you could tell that Victoria, could identify her as she has silver white hair. Outside of that, there's no identified features. Victoria rushed forward, swinging her red katana at Rain. Rain began to meet Victoria's strikes with her own, as their blades began to collide with each other, as sparks began to spread across the battlefield. Victoria pulled an automatic energy handgun and immediately opened fire. Rain dodged and weaved around the bolts of energy as she shot her own energy gun at Victoria. Victoria redirected the beams of energy coming from Rain's energy rifle or gun, redirecting the bolt of energy to the side with a single swing of her sword. You're pretty good for a human. Let's see you handle this. Rain gently trace her finger across her blade as the blade was engulfed in a slight coat of wind, like a cyclone, surrounding the blade as she swung forward. Victoria, not realizing the danger she's in, but regardless, she managed to dodge anyways, as she saw a good portion of the street was cut right through, like it was butter. Victoria narrowed her eyes behind her helmet. Victoria immediately activated her weapon function of her battle suit, as Victoria's long katana blade was coated in red energy. Both opponents rushed towards each other as their blades collided. Even Rain's blade is now covered in magic instead of wind. Well, regular magic instead of wind magic. As the two different type of energies collided as a chain reaction occurred, as Rain and Victoria was sent skidding backwards, as both women slammed their blades into the ground, stopping their momentum, and immediately charged forward, no longer having their weapons coated with their own unique type of energy, as they begin to charge forward in a deadly fast-paced sword battle, as their weapons continuously to collide with each other. Victoria swung her katana straight ahead, trying to cut her in half. Only for Rain to dodge the sword slash by jumping on top of the blade and begin to run on top of the blade of the red katana. As Rain ran on top of the sword, as she swung her blade, only for another member of the death squad to kick Rain in the stomach, sending Rain flying backwards right into the window of a building, as Rain smashed into the wall inside the shop that she flew into. Victoria, Vex, where are the others? Currently in the midst of a battle. They should be arriving soon enough. So, you having trouble? Bitch is strong, what can I say? Very well, shall we? We shall, sister. The moment the elf, Commander Rain, came out of the building, both sisters charged, one wielding a red katana, while the other, Vex, is charging with her double-handed blade, broadsword, that had an outline of pink, as she swung directly at the elf. The elf commander managed to block the initial attack. Rain barely had enough time to dodge the second swing, coming from Vex, who just joined the battle. When the other elves tried to interfere into the battle, Vex charged her blade with a black and pink energy. Then she swung her sword, without even looking at the other elves. The sword immediately cut through them, slicing through their bodies like they were butter, as pieces of body parts begin to fall. It might have only looked she only slashed once, but she slashed several times, leaving only pieces of the elves. Vex, sensing the danger, turned around to block a incoming strike from Rain. Rain immediately had to leap out of the way from a swing from Victoria. Her blade made a sword slash on the street, barely missing Rain. Rain was breathing heavy. She knows she's lost this battle, but she's having fun and didn't really care that her soldiers were massacred. But despite how much fun she's having, she knows it's best to retreat for now. They have a better understanding of their strengths and weaknesses. I know when I'm defeated. You won this time, humans. As she pointed her blade at both of the sisters. What do they call you? Victoria. And you, the one in the pink and black. Vex. I'm Commander Rain. Remember that name. The next time we meet, I will be the one that will be claiming victory. As Rain opened up a silver portal behind her and stepped backwards, disappearing alongside into the base and immediately withdrawing from their temporary base. All the elves scattered around the city got the call to retreat as they all begin to portal away. They remove all their equipment fast, as there's nothing left but the building itself. It was completely empty, like they were never there to begin with. Before Victoria could say anything, Vex raised her hand. A moment, please, sister. I'm getting orders. Victoria watches and waits for her sister to get done. It seems like the battle is over. According to reports, all the invaders retreated in the same type of portal they arrived in the city. The city is still in lockdown. We're doing a wide sweep of the entire city. The rest of the team is already in process of looking for more hostiles. We should head back to command. Understood. I have no doubt Bella would definitely want to get our report. Most likely. Let's go, sister. As both women fly up and begin to fly using the anti-gravity core that's attached to their battle suits, inside the suits basically, granting them the ability to fly or hover. It's basically flying, basically what it is. Victoria and Vex made it to the underground base to report back to Bella. They were met by two other members of their team. I heard you had a little bit of fun, Victoria. The same thing about you, Freya. What can I say? Trouble seems to find me no matter what I go. What about you? As she turned to the last member of their little group. I had a few run-ins with those strange-looking elves. At least, I think that's what they are. Alice spoke that in an unemotional tone of voice. When Bella entered the debriefing room, all of the members of the death squad, in full battle armor, saluted and got in formation, standing right next to each other, with one hand above their head in a salute, with their others behind their back, in a military pose. Good. What do you have for me? Victoria handed over all the battle data that was collected through their visors of their helmets. That attached that does have a built-in camera that was built in each power suit of the Death Squad. Over to Bella. Excellent. I'll have a team look over your footage and your data. This battle with these invaders will most likely increase. We haven't seen the last of them. Do we have anything on them, ma'am? Negative, Freya. We're still completely in the dark. We're not even sure why they're attacking us. They'll be back, I have no doubt about that. It's a shame. You couldn't kill their commander, but there'll be plenty of chances to get rid of her in the future. Why don't you girls take it easy? Get out of those power suits and relax. I believe you deserve a well-deserved rest. You did good. All of you did. You heard the boss. It's time for some much-needed R&R. We'll take our leave. As Bella watches her Death Squad leave the command room, that's where we're going to stop it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.